2,300 miles, longer than the Great Wall of China. What could possibly require such a monumental barrier? It wasn't stone nor brick. This was a living wall, a monstrous hedge of thorny acacia and prickly pear. This was the Great Hedge of India, a testament to both human ingenuity and colonial exploitation. Few remember it today, but its legacy, like its tangled roots, runs deep. The hedge wasn't built for defense against invading armies. It was a barrier against a more insidious enemy smuggling, specifically salt. The East India Company, hungry for profit, had established a monopoly on salt production. The hedge was their weapon to enforce it, stretching across India to prevent the free movement of this essential commodity. Imagine the audacity of the project. Thousands of labourers, their hands bloodied by thorns, planting, weaving and nurturing this botanical monstrosity. The hedge snaked across hills and plains, a verdant scar visible for miles. It was a symbol of the company's power, a stark reminder of their dominion over the land and its people. Salt, a basic human need, became a tool of oppression. The company levied exorbitant taxes on it. Indians, for centuries accustomed to freely collecting salt from coastal areas, were now forced to buy it at inflated prices. The Great Hedge was the iron fist inside the velvet glove. Construction began in the early 1800s. It took decades to complete, a testament to both the hedge's scale and the company's ruthlessness. Patrols rode along its length, armed guards on the lookout for smugglers. Anyone caught transporting untaxed salt faced harsh punishments, fines, imprisonment, even flogging. The hedge became a source of resentment and resistance. Ordinary Indians, their livelihoods threatened, found ways to circumvent it. Tunnels were dug, bribes were paid, and daring smugglers risked their lives under the cover of darkness. The hedge, for all its imposing size, couldn't completely stifle the people's ingenuity and determination. The Great Hedge wasn't just a political tool, it was an ecological disaster. The chosen plants, while effective barriers, were invasive species. They spread rapidly, choking out native vegetation and disrupting the delicate balance of the ecosystem. What was once fertile land became barren scrub. Forests were cleared, depriving wildlife of their habitat. The hedge, meant to control the flow of salt, ended up impacting the very land it stood on, leaving a legacy of environmental degradation. The human cost was even greater. Villages were displaced, farms were ruined, and traditional salt-making communities were decimated. The hedge, a symbol of the company's power, became a monument to their callous disregard for the people and the environment. As India progressed, the salt tax became increasingly unpopular. The Great Hedge, no longer economically viable, started to disappear. Slowly, silently, it was reclaimed by nature. The once formidable barrier was overtaken by weeds and vines. Sections were dismantled for firewood or building materials. The hedge, once a symbol of colonial might, crumbled into obscurity, its remains swallowed by the very land it once divided. By the early 20th century, the Great Hedge had all but vanished from public memory. Maps stopped marking its path, and official records made scant mention of its existence. It became a forgotten footnote in history, a testament to the ephemeral nature of even the most ambitious human endeavours. The rediscovery of the Great Hedge is as fascinating as its construction. Roy Moxley, an amateur historian, stumbled upon its story while researching colonial-era records. Intrigued by fragmented accounts of this massive structure, he dedicated years to piecing together its history. Moxley's research brought to light the scale and impact of the hedge, shedding light on a forgotten chapter of colonial exploitation. His work serves as a reminder of the power of historical inquiry and the importance of remembering even the most uncomfortable truths of the past. The Great Hedge of India, though largely vanished from the landscape, stands as a potent symbol of human ambition, ecological devastation, and the enduring legacy of colonialism. It's a story that prompts us to question, to remember, and to learn from the past, lest we repeat its mistakes.